Welcome to another edition of Introducing. I'm your girl, Miss Chris, aka Smart Video Girl, and this is the show Introducing Podcast. So, welcome. I appreciate you all for being here. Thank you to all the people the likes, the new subscribers. I really, I want to start off by saying I really, truly do appreciate you guys because it's just been phenomenal. This is my 5th episode. We heard last week about the power of 5 by Miss Sharon Parker. She was talking about her journey in the power of 5, and this is episode 5 for me. This is very special as well. So today's show is called It's in the Stars. Okay. It's in the stars. And I'm very excited about today's show because we're going to be talking to my girl, Foxxi Roxxi, who is the host of a podcast called the Pronoia Starseed podcast. I did it. Yes, I did it. Yes. It comes on all the time. So you just check it out. Make sure you go follow her, like and subscribe. I'll share the information later, but make sure that you follow her and you like her and you check out her podcast, you support her. Let me tell you, I'm going to start off with this before she comes on, and I've said this before, that she really has been an inspiration to me to start my podcast journey. Even though I've been doing this for a very long time, she really motivated me and inspired me to say, okay, girl, go, do it now, jump. In 2 ways, because she was doing her podcast consistently, faithfully, through everything, and her information. It was not just her, it was the information that was shared through her show that helped empower me and give me the information that I need to feel that to grow. And so that's why today's show is called It's in the Stars, because we want to really talk about that. I got to think of everything. It really is. And so it's in the stars. It's going to be great. I'm so excited. We're going to bring her on actually in a minute. And then, so she's the new person. We got a new thing because guess what? My sister's back. My sister is back from her journey, and she's brought back some cool things from Houston, Texas, because she was actually in Texas on Juneteenth. So she got to experience and participate in a pop-up shop that they had there in that area. So she brought some things back from a Black-owned business, and I thought I would share because that's what we do. And then, the new way of thinking. I don't know. Something just came over me. The new way of thinking. I'm going to save that one. I'm gonna save that one for later because I just want I want to bring on my special guest first so we can start talking and then you'll understand when we start talking about the new way of thinking. So uh make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Greatly appreciate you. Okay. You can go to Only Greatness Media Production to find that and follow, like, and just like, share, and subscribe. I had to read my screen because I forgot what the heck. All right. So without further ado, please help welcome Miss Foxxi Roxxi to introducing. Hey, Foxxi.
Hey, hey, hey. Peace and
Hey, girl.
blessings.
How are you?
I am well. Thank you for having me, sis.
Listen, I'm so excited to have you here. Honestly, like, because I first of all, I've been on your podcast several times.
Yes.
um, and when I told you I was going to do my podcast, you were like, "Okay, you're coming on my podcast, so you can talk about that." And so, again, to your point, like, so yes, it's a pleasure and an honor to have you here on my platform. Sis, I'm so excited. Yeah. So today, the topic is uh, it's in the stars, right?
Mm.
And so, for those who don't know, just a little bit about you before we get into some of the questions that I have for you. Tell us a little bit about you and the Pronoia Starseed podcast.
All right. Well, peace and blessings, everybody. Again, as my sister told you, my name is Foxxi Roxxi. I am the host of Pronoia Starseed podcast over there on Facebook. We are exclusively on Facebook right now, but we are rolling ourselves on out to YouTube. We are, I know I've been slowly saying, I've been saying that since for like over a year. But what we talk about over there is all types of spirituality. We talk about spirituality as a whole, how we think, how we feel, how to connect to divine, the universe. Pronoia means that the universe is working in your favor because
Mm,
paranoia means that you're afraid that everything is working against you, right? So pronoia is a play on paranoia, and we are all star seeds from different star systems. We are all cosmic beings. So we all are made out of that dust. So yes, so that's where I got the star seed, and of course it's a podcast. I guess it's funny is that I never had watched a podcast ever in my life prior to doing this podcast. Like I never watched one. I didn't know what
mm,
it was supposed to be. I just knew that that was a genre that I was going to fall into. And then
mhm.
I try not to watch too many. I only watch really your show and I listen to Mental Salvation.
Right.
And that
Uh-huh.
is it because I don't want to be too influenced by other podcasts. I think people are dope. I love when people go out and do their things. I just like I have an open headspace. So I don't like to be too influenced by other people's thought processes. So, but
Mhm.
like I said, I love that you had me here. I'm very excited because I've seen my sister grow from and I want to say she's always been like this light, but it's like this light that has always been there for everybody else. And it's
Mhm.
like it's time for that little light to shine for itself. So it's so beautiful to tap into your energy and be here. So yes, Pronoia Star Seed podcast is all about spirituality, astrology, numerology. I do tarot. Y'all don't be scared. It's not scary. It's all about us and your intuition and yourself and tapping into yourself. So that's what I do. Yes,
Intuition.
yes.
Okay, if you know, then you know. Intuition is one of those six magical things that we have, and I haven't really explored those too much, but here on the podcast. But I will definitely be talking about that more. But intuition. So, like I said, you heard it here. Her podcast, the Pronoia Starseed podcast, is letting us know that one, the universe is always working on us in our favor. Hello. Hello. Okay. First thing, we know that we talk about that here all the time. Okay. And we all come from our own special stars, our own seats. We
Yes.
all that special dust. And that's what I really want to talk about today. Like that's kind of the conversation that we're going to be having in uh because I want people to understand, like, really getting to know who I was through my dust
Yes.
helped me understand who I am in this body.
Hmm.
Okay. And it was like, we know, like on the post I did, like we know, like we talking about astrology. Everybody knows their zodiacs per se. You know when you were born. You know if you're a Taurus or an Aries or whatever the case
They know
is.
their ego.
They know.
The sun. Yes. Yeah, we are, we because that's our ego. So we all know, we introduce ourselves. I am a Taurus. I am a Pisces. I am this. That's our that of course the ego is going to introduce itself. The rest is hidden.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We have no idea that there are other layers to us
Yeah.
of this dust that show up in everyday life that have um, a pathway to where we were destined to be. It's so funny. I learned all this information on your podcast. So I encourage people to also watch her podcast just in because the information is priceless. Priceless. Okay? It's
Thank you,
priceless,
sis.
and hence me here now being a star because I learned about myself. I learned my true purpose. I learned why I had struggles. I learned why I was bumping up against walls. Hello,
Yes.
does this
Yes.
resonate with anyone?
Yes.
We all have these struggles and we try to figure out why. It's because we are more than just as we appear here on earth, and as our sun sign, the things that we know.
Yeah.
It's the
Because that's what we're
thing
given. You
because
know, we're given the basics. Like
the
most people don't
base.
even know you're not supposed to read your horoscope based on your sun. You're supposed to read it based on your rising. Your
Right.
horoscope
People
is
don't even
not
know what
based
the
on your
rising
sun
is.
sign. When they write them in the little thing, it's based on your rising. So if you don't know what your rising is, you're reading your horoscope kind of wrong. So it's like what we don't know, right? So that's why some people may say I don't resonate with this or that, but that's because you're deeper than one layer. You're an onion, baby. You got
Mm,
layers to you.
mm, mm. Yeah, see, so go check it out. I'm telling you, I learned a lot. I learned this onion been peeled back. You hear me?
Right?
Okay, this onion been peeled
AMG,
back.
thank you. So it's like my
Yes,
backdrop. Thank you.
yes. She said she loves it, loves it. We're loving it. I'm loving it too.
Yes,
So
Basset is
listen,
my spirit animal here. Basset is my guide, y'all.
ew. And it's the energy, y'all. It's the energy. Foxy Roxy, make sure you check her out. Pronoia Starseed podcast. As a matter of fact, after the show today, she's going to be going live. So if you go follow like her now, then when she goes live later, you can see that pop up. Okay. All right. All right. So question, because of the questions that I asked, you actually were there the day that I went over the questions and developed the questions for this
Oh,
show.
did I? Was
We were at
I?
the spa.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yes.
yes. Okay.
Yes. We were at the spa. We were at the spa. And
Okay.
that's why I was talking about the stuff. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to do the show. And these are going to be the questions. Here I am today.
Right. Look at
Right.
you. And let me just say, I am a very proud. Thank you very much for allowing me to be on the fifth show. My number is 23. 2 plus 3 is 5. I was born on the 23rd. And we know 5 is resonates with change. My life, people, is
Mm,
always changing. I have never ever like soon as I get comfortable, it's like, oh no, ma'am, you're comfortable. Let's change it up. So thank you for the 5. I saw that and said, oh, really? That's what we're doing. Spirit fifth show. Okay. All right. All right, sis.
listen, we don't play around here. Spirit leads the way
Yes,
around here. I
yes.
just follow the lead. I follow
Okay.
the lead, okay? So with that being said,
Mhm.
how have you been able to um, handle the changes in your life? How are you able to handle those changes and maneuver and grow through them? Grow through them.
If not by knowing divine and knowing who I am. So it took a while to get to that point. I grew up again um I grew up Christian in church and everything, and I don't knock it at all. It opened me up to spirituality. Um and I think I always been different since I was a kid. I just always been inquisitive about certain things, and it's always been with spirituality. So whenever I would hear certain things, I would do my reading myself, and then things would just make me go deeper and deeper into other things, and then I would start meeting people. and things would start coming towards me. So whenever I would go through things, what I would do first, it was crazy. First thing I would do is grab my Bible. I would grab a Bible, and this is how this is how, guys, I guess you guys, tarot kind of resonates with me. I'll grab my Bible. I would not, look for a specific scripture. I would ask divine to guide me to a message. And this is how I do with tarot. This is how I do when I am lost. I feel I reach out to divine through different mechanisms, even to this day. So the Bible was my first way of asking divine for a message. I know it was written in there and that I would be guided to it. And then it also allowed me to understand that I have a direct connection where I can just ask divine instead of asking someone else to ask divine for me, or wait until next Sunday, or wait until, because I'm crying in the middle of the night sometimes. I need that direct connection. And so when I started tapping into it, I was probably about 9, when I really started tapping into it. Like when I was younger, I was always inquisitive. Like things happened, and we can get into that later, but things got happened to me when I was a kid that made me more spiritual. Like I was alone a lot. And so there was just a lot of me in divine time. And so now I'm so excited because I didn't understand why. I didn't understand the solitude then. I didn't understand being a misfit. I didn't understand not having friends. I didn't understand why I had to keep moving and learning new stuff and learning how to deal with different type of people then. But I understand it now because the people that come to me are so different. They have different paths that they're going through, and I'm able to assist them no matter what, where, or who they are, because I have been through so many things that people could never understand. Most people would not have still be here. Like honestly, mentally, it would break you, some of the things, if I tell you my story, but it broke me open to who I truly am. And so I am grateful for those, trials and tribulations. So anytime I go through anything, I look for the silver lining in it. I do. I try to say, okay, maybe this is leaving my life because something better is coming in. Maybe this is happening because I wouldn't let go. So divine is making me let go. Maybe, like, I always try to figure out the why to it, because then I can get through it. I always know it's going to get better because I look at, the past. I'm winning.
That
I'm
part.
batting 10 out of 10. I'm still here. So I know it's going to get better. It's just like, get through this moment, that type of
Yes.
shit. Sorry.
Listen, honey, you done preached the whole word.
I'm
You
sorry,
done
y'all.
said a whole lot of things. Because you were talking about, and my sister can attest to this because we were having this conversation last night. You were talking about the isolation. You had that time to connect with your, like you said, unbeknownst to yourself, why you were so alone, you know, and and I realized that again, listen to your show because of my human design. And you got to listen to her show to know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to get into it today. We don't have enough time on the show.
No, we could
Okay.
go on.
We could go on for days. Okay. You have to go back, watch some of her shows, you Google it, something. But because of my human design, I had to be alone. Like, you had to be alone.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It was part of your journey.
Yep.
Yeah. And you being able to tap into to divine, you know what I'm saying, is key because, like you said, some people could just they tap out.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So that's key. So you heard it. Oh my God. Okay. So says how do you create good vibes for yourself though? How good
Mm.
vibes?
So as y'all see, I got the smoke burning here. I love incense. I love smells. I love when I need to, and I'm gonna tell you, this is how I know when I'm out of alignment. My space is messy. Everything is messy because it's a reflection of how I'm feeling inside. But when it's clean and I'm burning the frankincense and I got the and in good vibes, I mean, really, if we just take away noise, if you just step out into nature, just like sometimes I need peace. I leave my phone. People be calling me and don't believe me. They be like, man, you ain't leaving your phone. Bullshit. I'm sorry. I leave
You
my
okay?
I curse, sorry.
You all right?
I leave my phone. Okay. If I go to the park, it may be in my car, but I'm not taking it with me unless I plan on taking pictures. And it's on do not disturb because I'm not trying to talk to nobody. I'm trying to be with nature. So I ground myself a lot. That's how I get my vibration higher. So that when I walk in a room, if the vibration low, I want to raise that joint up. That is the whole purpose of each of our existence, honestly, is to raise the vibration of the room when you walk in. So even so when I'm not at my best, I'm in 6'2" profile hermit mode. Okay. I go hermit. I disappear. I get my energy back up. Sometimes I gotta meditate. Sometimes I need to just be in my own space for a while. Sometimes, I am on my podcast a lot, but you'll notice there'll be days, like a whole week, I may not go because what I do is it has to do with me tapping into divine, and I can't tap in if I'm not aligned.
Right.
So I'm always constantly, I'm constantly burning incense and sage and pilo because the smells themselves uplift my vibration. People, we need to get back to the simplest things. The sounds of the birds will actually raise your vibration. Just being in nature.
Mhm.
If you want to get, fancy smancy with it, go to a float spot and just get sounds to go away, because a lot of us don't realize if we got electronics linked up with stuff, that those sounds are coming through while you sleeping at night. You know, we're never in pure silence. So if you need that, go out into nature and just realign. But that's what I do. I get out into nature.
Everything is a vibe. That's what this is. That's what
Yes.
she said. Basically, just get some good vibes. So there you
Yes.
go.
It
Go into
smells.
nature and smells.
Hmm.
Yes. Okay. I'm loving that. I'm so loving that. So look, I've asked a couple people on this question on the show, and nobody has seemed to really been able to answer it. Right.
Okay.
Okay. And and this is coming from knowing that that there's masculine and feminine energy, and I know you can
Mm.
understand that. How are you able to balance that
Oh, I
within
love
yourself?
it. I love
Yes,
that question.
thank
I
you.
love it.
Nobody's been able to answer it. Can we get an answer?
I can give you an answer.
Okay.
So it's beautiful. It's a beautiful balance. The thing about it is to be able to first recognize both energies and what they are made for.
Mhm.
So the masculine energy is for doing, for protecting, for, being like, if you want to get some stuff done, use your masculine energy. But if you want things to start to come to you, to be in flow, to be, you know, the receiver, you be in your feminine energy. So I work with mine whenever I need to get. So if I'm in, it's like the boardroom to the bedroom. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
sometimes
Yes.
I got to put on my masculine energy when I'm in a room where I need to be seen and heard.
Hmm.
And it's not just about, I can just step in and be. Sometimes you got to speak. And when I do, I need people to hear me. So sometimes I have to step into that masculine energy of I am here and listen, and this is what needs to be done. But the feminine energy is how I appear, how I may come into the room, how I may smell when I walk into the room. I'm gonna come in with this feminine energy to make you relax, but then I want to use my masculine energy in order for you to receive the message that I'm about to give you. So yeah, oh girl, yes. I love the balance, the left and the right brain. Yes, ma'am.
There you go. All right. So, all future guests, if you don't know how to answer that question, you just learned today. Okay. You take notes. I told you to bring your pen and paper. I got mine because I asked myself that question and I couldn't answer it. But you know
Mm,
why? It's because of having that understanding. And I've heard it before of what the purpose is for masculine and feminine energy. And that's the reason for the question because in the universe, the way the laws work, there is masculine and feminine energy.
mm.
There's purpose for it. It's not
Yes.
just man and woman. It's not just physical man and physical
And
woman.
I want to make this clear too. We
Yeah.
talk about balance, but with
Yeah.
masculine and feminine energy, it's about harmony. It's not balance, because the masculine and the feminine, they serve two separate purposes. They have their own separate purpose. So it's kind of like puzzle pieces. They're not going to be shaped the same. They're not going to weigh the same, but they fit together very nicely. And that's what it's really about, in balancing your own personal masculine and feminine.
Okay, I love it. So it's harmony. I'm gonna change that in my vocabulary.
Yes.
Okay,
Hmm.
I am because things I think people strive for quote unquote balance
Right. But
so much,
balance kind of
and
equals.
balance is not a. It's not, and I'm not really saying balance. I'm just saying that there is that harmony,
Yeah, we
and
want
they go
harmony.
together well. So harmony.
Harmonious.
That's going to be a new word. Replace balance with harmony. Okay. vocabulary update. I'm reprogramming my brain for those that don't know. Okay, judge me not.
Sometimes we need balance when
Yeah,
things need
sometimes
to
you
be
need
balanced. But
balance.
when we're working with energy, we want to be in harmony with each other. We
Absolutely.
don't want to make one energy be equal to the other because it's not the same. We want to feel, want to flow with it. You want to go with the energy.
Listen, honey. Okay, listen. You're giving me all kinds of good energies right there. Listen. So, thank you so much for the answering that because that really hit home, and that was the reason for that question. So I hope that people were taking notes on that. I was taking notes. Sometimes when you ask the question, it's not necessarily really to get an answer; it's to provoke thought. And even with you providing answers, it should give people something to think about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So thank you so much for
Yes, yes.
yes, girl. But we're gonna keep talking. We're gonna keep talking, but as I usually do, I have a new thing. And like I said, my sister was in Texas. Shout out to my sister. Hey, sister, welcome back. I love you. She was in Texas, and she brought back this uh, sh- shirt from the company called Rebelliouz. It's for my son, and it's from a woman. Her name is Latanya Ramsey. Okay, I'll put her information on there. This is it, and she's on Instagram. And this is the shirt. Although it's pretty cool. My son loves red, so this was
Looks like the
perfect.
phoenix rising from the ashes.
Rebellious.
Yes, I like it.
I like it too.
Like a
I love
tattoo.
it.
Mhm.
Yes. So make sure you go and check her out. If you follow her on Instagram, it's Rebellious Apparel, and I'll put it in the chat so that you can check it out. Woo woo. Shout out to her. Shout out to the Black-owned businesses out there. And if you would like to, be a new thing or a sponsor, just let me know. Holla at your girl. So don't be afraid to be rebellious. That's what today's
Yes,
show is about. Listen,
rebellion.
listen.
Rebel.
Unbeknownst to me, like, listen. First of all, I'm gonna say this. Every time you said a number, first you said 5, then you said 6, and the numbers went tick, tick, just like that. I'm just gonna say that. I saw it, but I'm not gonna say nothing.
Divine
Okay,
be don't be playing. Spirit be in
spirit
the
be playing.
building.
Spirit be in the building. And then rebellious. So in addition to, of course, like the new things, I also do new ways of thinking. And today I want to introduce a new way of thinking. We're going to continue to elaborate on it. And you're the perfect person to talk about this with because we're going to talk about, and I said a little to her about it, but I didn't go into depth. But the new idea or concept that I want to introduce to you all today is the idea of sorcery. Yes, yes, sorcery. What do you think about when you think about sorcery? And I just want you to be honest because I want people to. I really want to hear what this is because I really.
Now
What do
wait
you
a
think?
minute. Me?
Yes, you
Okay. Well, I'm a little
and the
different.
people in the chat. People in the chat,
Yeah,
tell
people
me.
in the chat gonna be a little maybe a little different about what I think about.
I know you probably. I probably shouldn't hear from you. I should
I'm not
probably
gonna say
wait.
nothing right. Y'all
But
wait.
the people in the chat, if you're watching, what do you think about when you think about sorcery? Just like a quick couple words. Tell me what you think about when you think about sorcery. But what I was reading a book and someone brought up a good point of tapping into source, right? And they said that they were a sorcerer. And I said, you know what? I'm a sorcerer too. I said, I'm a sorcerer. I'm going to be, you know why? Because what in essence it's saying is that you tap into your source. My source is divine. My
Yeah.
source is God. My source is the universe. I am a sorcerer. I don't know about you. If you're not a sorcerer,
Shan
magic.
says magic. Yeah,
Yeah. But that's it.
it is.
That's where magic
Do
happens.
you believe in
Do
magic?
you believe in that? I do. Let me tell you, I'm a
Too.
sorcerer.
Oh my
I'm a
gosh.
sorcerer. I'm gonna encourage you to be a sorcerer because that's where the magic happens when you tap into the source, when you
Yeah.
tap into divine. That's where the magic happens. Become a sorcerer. I encourage you all to rethink that word. When you hear them say sorcery and wizardry and
So it's powerful for them to be sorcerers. So what's crazy is they definitely know the power of the word. That's why they
yeah,
still use it. But they tell you that it's demon, they demonize it for you to use it. So you hear it, it's like, oh no, they doing black magic. Well, what is black magic?
what is it? Tell
See,
me.
the thing is, if we don't know, it sounds scary as hell, you know? Everything sounds scary when you don't know what it is, you know? Just like you just gave the root word of sorcery is source. And then so if we oh my gosh, I just played Jay Mill's song I Say as one of the songs on my reels and it says, I'm trapped in the language that I think in.
Mm,
We are trapped in the language that we think in. We don't even know what we're saying because words have meaning, but we say them so easily without knowing the meaning. Just like I tell my kids, we go to work during the weekday, and so we're so tired because it's the week, and then the weekend comes, and we got all this energy because the week has ended. When you're weak, you have no energy, you know. So then, when you're good, having a good morning, and then you're walking around all sad because you're in mourning, you know, again, it's the play on words. Your brain, your subconscious doesn't know how to spell morning or morning. It knows what morning means though. It means sadness. It doesn't know the spelling is different. It doesn't care that the spelling is different. It is your I try to explain this also to people. Your subconscious mind only knows you, right? It only knows you. It knows no one else. No one else. Nobody else. So it's like someone living in the basement and it knows you live upstairs. And you could have a whole dang on party going on, but it doesn't know that you're talking to anybody else in the party. It knows you're talking to you. So
yeah.
anytime you see somebody that you think is, oh, she funny looking, it's like it's telling, oh, I'm funny looking. That's what the subconscious mind is saying. Oh, she thinks she's funny looking. It doesn't know you have company. It doesn't know you're talking to anybody else because it knows no one but you. So this is the main reason why they tell you that be careful of what you say about others is because you're really saying it about yourself. You know, again, this is tapping into sorcery. This is tapping into the source to know that you are source. So anything you say about anyone else, everybody else is a reflection of you because your subconscious does not know anyone but you. So if you think, oh, she got a big old butt. And you wonder why you eating all these dang on Weight Watchers, but your butt keep getting bigger because you subconsciously keep telling yourself by what you say about other people. And this is what's happening to you. See, we don't, and we shouldn't even have to get that deep most times. We should just be like nice to each other. But when you tell people like
Right.
that, they change their mind about how they start speaking about people. They be like, damn, well, maybe I shouldn't say that. You shouldn't probably been saying it to begin with. But
You should
you
have
know,
probably said in the beginning, but then they realized that it's actually really does affect them. Like we said, yeah,
yeah. So
that is
I
so
love
deep.
sorcery. Sorcery is
Yeah.
the bomb. Like, I mean, people would say what I do is considered sorcery, but it's divination. Divination is to tap into divine. Like, there's nothing wrong with divination. There's nothing wrong with using the energy of the wind, the earth, fire. Like, these are natural things. It's like, no, use man-made.
No, no,
No, please, no. I'm so scared.
no, no, no,
No,
no, no,
no. Because once
no.
you start tapping in, then you start realizing that you can get the answers that other places you went, you couldn't get the answers
Yep.
because you're
The
directly
source is the supply.
right.
Source is the supply, and so that you hit it all in the head. You hit it all up. You was all on the points, like boop 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 boop. Like I think you was reading my notes, but I know that's not the case because I know we talk all the time. And my sister was just saying, because last night again we were just talking about the English language. Just like she was like, well, I don't understand why there's four different meanings for the same word. You know, there's again
Yes.
to your point, it
It's
is
to manipulate you. It's the double talk.
yeah,
It's called
it's the
double talk,
English,
but it's
and that's
called
the
double talk.
English
Yes,
language.
it's double talk though. It's like that's why would we have two words? Because it's confusing to the subconscious mind and it helps you keep you on a lower vibration. If you don't know what you're saying, if you just because you don't know you're participating in rituals don't mean you're not participating in them. It's just because
Amen.
ignorance is not bliss. Don't let nobody get it twisted. Ignorance is ignorance. But if you want to come out of ignorance, just start listening to what you're saying. You know, we say stuff so easily. And I love the sayings that our parents have given us over years, but we don't even listen to them. Everybody not your friend, aka use your power of discernment, right? But she's not saying that when she's saying check your friends.
Mm-hmm.
These are little tools and little things we hear and they go in one ear and out the other. But if we actually took the valuable things in and
Mm-hmm.
then think about, we do these things in ritual. We say good morning every
Every day.
freaking morning.
Mm-hmm.
We listen to the radio and we listen to the same music. It comes on every day. That is a ritual. That is not the programming you want. So if you want to learn about divination, about sorcery, learn how to use it for your power because they're using it against you. So if you don't want to know about it, that's fine. But it's being used against you right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Sharon Parker said of Rosa, who was our guest last week, said our ancestors understood our inner power.
Yes.
Most of their descendants were not taught for decades. Hence where we are now.
Yes.
Hence, you know what I'm saying? You were taught a whole nother. Yes, these things are very key. And that's why I said the power of words. Words have power. Thoughts are things like, and people I've heard it said before, a thought is a thing.
It is. It is energy.
It is energy. For one of my first shows, it's a vibe. Everything is a vibe. I started that on purpose because that is the truth. There is no other. That is the truth. Everything is a vibe. Period.
Yep. Every thought is an energy that wants to be manifested. So people, even negative thoughts, they want to be manifested. So they
Absolutely.
go, so just if you don't let it manifest, it'll just go to somebody else and it'll go in their brain. And you may see somebody do some wild stuff and be like, man, I was thinking about doing that. And you know why? Good, I didn't act on it. But it's just an energy and it goes from one person. And the thing about life is that we are all on frequencies. Energy are flowing through us constantly. It's about what we allow ourselves to tune into and what we tap into and what we focus in on is what we actually make manifest
Mm-hmm.
into reality because everything you are the magician. So everything is
Mm-hmm.
coming towards you because it wants you to make it real.
Mm-hmm.
But it
Yep.
doesn't mean that everything that come towards you need to create. You need to be using that power of discernment. This energy is coming towards me. I'm feeling this type of way. Why am I feeling this way? Don't just think that just because you're feeling this way, you need to act on it. Again, there's energies flowing all day long, and then you're around people who have energies flowing, so now they're in your energy field and now you're feeling their energy and now it's not your thoughts. So if you go with everything you're thinking, you know again.
So what you said earlier, one of the first words, and I said it goes intuition, discernment, these
Yes.
things.
Powerful when you tap in and know it is what it is, though, because you have to know that there is also another voice called fear, and it
Mm,
will get mistaken for intuition or discernment. There are times that we tap into fear because it's that first voice sometimes that we hear. It's
mm,
like, oh, don't do that. But it's like, wait a minute. Is this, you have to ask yourself, is this going to harm me or is this going to help me? Is this something that, fear will stop you from going after your goals and you'll be thinking it's your intuition. So again, it's important to
mm, mm,
meditate
mm,
and to tap into yourself so you know the voices that you hear. You can discern them within yourself. You can know that feeling in your gut is real or not, you know, because again, we all were born with it. It's our sixth sense.
yeah, there you go. So I said, anyways, let me digress. I'm gonna digress for a second because I was about to get a hold of. Listen, because there's so much I want to say. First thing I want to say is that I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, yeah. Oh, Lord, today. Because swing, batter, fear and doubt, get out. I did a video this morning. I did a live this morning. because I was having the heebie-jeebies. I was having anxiety. Let me say, that was anxiety is, if you do the supply chain, fear is the bottom feeder for that. Okay, so all of that goes into fear. I was having anxiety about things that, like, to your point, like, that could be fear. It can make you change your mind. It can make you make decisions that aren't going to be the best for you, because that's what you're talking about.
Mhm.
It's either you either make decisions hastily, or things that that are, that's not what you need to do. Your spirit already tell you you need to be
Fear
patient.
moves quickly.
That's what I'm saying. So I had to be still. I was in the shower, and the fear and the doubt was creeping in because
Mhm.
what I was alone in the
Yep.
shower. But something was like, get out. And then I literally kicked it out. But to your point, you have to know, you have to have that discernment in yourself
Yes.
first. Because a lot of times we can have that about other people, but we miss that within ourselves.
And
We
that's a
don't know
lot of
how
times
to
we don't.
apply that to ourselves. We don't know how to apply, because we have to apply that to this inner being that we're talking to. We have to apply. It's like talking to yourself. It's like thinking to yourself.
We
I
gotta learn how to
literally
be
was
real with ourselves. So
being all the
that's
way
the biggest
real.
thing is that we can be real about what other people are doing. We can see other people very clearly, but seeing ourselves and sitting. That's why a lot of people don't like to be alone. It's because we have to sit with ourselves. But if you can sit with yourself and be okay, then you can get answers to all kinds of things. But when you are afraid to sit alone with yourself,
Mhm.
no, there will be no answers coming to you because there's so many blockages. There's so much you have to be able to see because it's like shut doors. If you're not real with yourself, then how are you going to get real answers? Like divine
You're
got to
not.
filter through all this crap
Mhm.
that you're putting up.
You're living in an artificial world. You
Yes.
are living in a world. You're living in an AI world. You're living in an artificial world. You are a robot following a program. You are following what has been programmed for you to do.
Yeah.
That's what, for you to believe, for you to read, for you to feel, to keep you at the vibration, and understand that when we talk about everything's a vibe, it's like, it's very intrusive. You know what I'm saying? But it is a vibe, and it's really, you know embedded in the things that you read, the things that you see. It's all in there to create and bring your vibe down. You have to be aware
Everything
of
is
how you are vibrating. And
everything
like,
is working against you outside of you.
absolutely,
So it's always
absolutely,
your responsibility to take care of the inside of you because, you know, we are our own worst enemy.
yeah,
We tell ourselves we can't do something. It don't matter what somebody else say. They can say whatever they want, but the minute you tell yourself you can't do it, you can't do it. It's not happening.
that's
It's
not
like if I
happening.
look at this 8-pound weight that's on my floor right now, if I tell myself I cannot do it, my muscles will feel like noodles and I will not be able to do it. Now, if you tell me I can't do it, it's not going to affect me. It's going to affect me if I allow it to. But in reality, it's only really what I accept in and I say is true that affects me. And if we live
Absolutely,
our lives by knowing that, we would say nicer things to ourselves. We would start manifesting what we really wanted because we'll know that energy is alive and it's coming towards us. And we attract better energy when we give off good energy. So stop saying negative things to yourselves. You know?
absolutely. Listen, I want to say that, because what we're talking about is things that I know a lot of people kind of know these things, and applying these things, it really takes, um, focus. It takes love of yourself. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? Because this is really self work. It's not anything else. You're talking about isolation. You're talking about getting one and getting connected. It's not work you have to do with anyone else. The sorcery happens, the magic happens within. All of that crap. Because one of the laws of the universe is your inner world is a reflection of your outer world, and vice versa. So if the magic is happening on the inside, you're going to see the magic happen on the outside. But you have to take that time to do the work on the inside. Make the magic happen on the inside. Get in touch and feel that intuition and know the difference between fear and anxiety and limiting thoughts, and things that don't serve you. You see what I'm
Yes.
saying? Because
Hmm.
we fall into the habit of doing things that don't serve us, knowing good and well they don't serve us. It's
Right.
not bringing us anything when we fight against ourselves so much. So you have to do that work to have the magic happen within you. The sorcery. I'm going back to the sorcery. Tap into
Yes.
the sorcery in yourself. Make the magic happen in you. And I promise you it will happen on the outside. And what I see so many times is that people try to make the magic happen outside.
Before the inside.
They
Just kind of
force.
building the house backwards. You're trying to build up the sides and all of that stuff, but your foundation ain't laid. You are the foundation. Self is always the foundation. Anything, nothing, no house can be built without the foundation. And so if you try to work around it, the shit's gonna fall. The windows ain't gonna stay. The top's gonna fall off. But if you put that lay a sturdy foundation of self-worth, self-knowledge, knowledge of self, and being open to always learning. That's the one thing that keeps me open to knowledge and divine always coming back to me with more and more is because I'm open to saying, oh, okay, so I thought this was it and this was a part of it. This ain't all of it. And I'm always learning new stuff. But the minute that we
Absolutely.
close our minds down and we say, nope, this is how this is it. This is
This
what
is
we
it.
believe. This is what I've been taught. And I'm not trying to, then, just give it up. Just stop. Because we like right now, even to this day, who could have imagined what we've gone through in the last 3 years and we learned how to we are human beings in spirits in human bodies are adaptable to practically anything, right? But the thing that's a pro and a con because we are also able to be easily influenced into doing anything. And this is why it's important again to lay that solid foundation and not let other people build your houses for you. Make sure
Mhm.
that you know who you are. Even if you're in the church, read your Bible for yourself. Don't let someone just preach to you, read it. Because if it makes all the sense in the world to you, continue to read it. If there's gaps, look for the information. Because guess what? There is 50 miles of doctrine under the Vatican. I promise you, there are some missing documents. There are things that you are not going to get all the truths on. But if you search for knowledge, knowledge will be searching for you. What you seek is seeking you. And so we like at the end of the day, we are responsible for the foundation of our own houses. And so if your house falls down, even though the people around you were shady, you were responsible for making sure that you had the power of discernment within you to make the right judgment calls. Like it always comes back to us.
Look, I'm gonna wrap that. I'm gonna start to close the show like this because if we go any further, we're gonna have a show. You have a show after this. I know you need time. Listen, and I do want to respect. This is part of my respective time. I want to stay within my hour,
Okay.
right? Okay, I like to start on time, end on time. That's what we do. And I got a lot of announcements with Foxxi Roxxi. Let me tell y'all. I hope y'all had your pen and paper and you was taking notes. Okay, taking notes. Sorcery is a very good word. Tap into
I like that
source.
word. I'm going to start
I
using
love
it more
it.
too, Chris. When you hear me on the show tonight, we're going to talk about sorcery.
We're gonna tap into source. We're gonna make the magic happen within. Okay, new ways of thinking. That's what I want us to think. We're gonna reprogram our brains to take, and because it's just almost like a water filter. We're gonna take the dirty water and filter that and put in some new clean thoughts, some new
Yes.
ways of thinking. Okay, that's what we're gonna do because again, once you stop learning, once you stop growing, you might as well. I think I said this yesterday. You might as well just roll over, go to sleep somewhere on the bridge.
Taking
Don't
up
want to do no
space.
work. You're taking up space. Like
Yes.
you're here to engage in life. I say that all the time. To be
Hmm.
an active participant.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's growing, learning, all of that. So thank you again, Foxy Roxy. Tell them where
Absolutely.
they can find you
So
one more
y'all catch
time.
me on Pronoia Starseed Podcast. Yes, Pronoia Starseed Podcast. Both places on IG has the underscore. So it's Pronoia underscore Starseed underscore podcast. And you catch me on Facebook. I'm always live on Facebook, y'all. That's my home. That's where I started out. So I'll be there tonight again. We'll be doing Tarot Tuesdays. It's going to be a quicker show because we had the show. So it's going to only be for like 30 minutes. So y'all tap in. It'll be coming. I'll be coming on actually a little bit earlier than I have announced since we're going to be wrapping it up soon. So I'll take me a quick break and get on there. So check me out over there on Facebook.
Yes. So yes. Make sure that you check her out. I know I'm gonna go get my tarot reading. Let me tell you something. Because again, spirit is always conspiring on my behalf. And the messages that I have been getting have been wonderful guiding pieces, jewels like little nuggets used to help lead the way. Or just to confirm, good job, child. Whatever.
Yeah, your messages be on point.
My messages have been on point for, I promise you, all throughout COVID, because before you started your podcast, I was following someone else and I stumbled across her and it was like, huh. And every time I come on, she'd be right on the tour, right on. I'm like, and it was it was all about me, the struggle, what I was going through at that. It was that part of it was the narrow lane in my journey. I'll put it like that, where things were really tight, and it was like, you know, if you were on that road by yourself, you know, and then and the messages were amazing, and then you started doing yours, and I was like, yes, now I can. But I mean, not bad, but I was like, I'm gonna go over here because yes, I love it. So make sure you go and check her out. Again, Pronoia Starseed podcast. She's going to be on after this, shortly
Yes,
after. So I
Jessica.
know you have already liked and subscribed
Jessica
and
access.
shared
So can you put it
her.
up again?
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh, yes. I will do that. Let's do that. Put that up there for you. Make sure you do that. Yes. Check her out,
Yeah, we'll be
please.
coming over onto YouTube real soon. I just been having some issues with the little banner. I want my page to look right before I come over here, y'all. I'm just struggling a little bit because I've been trying not to lean on my sister because my sister doing her own things now. She's big dog, so I got to go get me some help somewhere.
Yeah, if I don't know, she's talking about my retirement.
Her. She be helping me out, yo. That's my sis. I ain't gonna lie, like for real. When
Yes.
I started my podcast, and look, we do go, sis, just one drop. My sis will be joining me for Pronoia After Dark, y'all. So we'll talk about that, and she'll drop on that, y'all. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll be on that very soon. So listen, this again, like, share, subscribe. I greatly appreciate each and every single one of y'all. I said it at the beginning. I want to close because I really want y'all to understand how much I really truly do appreciate all of the supports. I promise you, it has been overwhelming in a very good way. So the energy is high, and I appreciate it. If you would like to be a sponsor, say you would like to, promote your products or you want to support the podcast, make sure you send me an email. The email is scrolling across the bottom. It's tellemchris@gmail.com. I greatly appreciate that. And thank you to my sponsors. And let's go ahead and call those out now because we do have some sponsors. And I appreciate you all as well. We have Miss Sharon on the Run. Thank you so much for Sharon on the Run for being a sponsor of the podcast. I greatly appreciate you sewing into my project and the information that I'm sharing. It means a lot because it means a lot. That's all I have to say. Also, I appreciate Super Radio. You can catch all of the rebroadcasts on superradiodmv.com. Probably tomorrow you can be able to catch this episode and the past 4 episodes. And coming very soon, you're going to be able to catch those on Wow Radio.
Yeah,
So
love too.
yes, Wow Radio. That might be a clip. She
Sorry.
might use
Oh
it.
yeah.
She might use it.
Yep.
Very soon I'll make that announcement. When it drops, you'll be able to catch all of the past episodes and catch up to the current season to where we are. And so make sure you check out wowuradio.net, okay? And of course, Black Women Connected Communities. I always shout them out. Love the ladies. Appreciate you all for always being supportive. Right now we're doing like a campaign. It's like, how good can it get? You know what I'm saying? How good can it get? We will ask ourselves, how good can we get? And so it's a form of showing gratitude and being grateful and just seeing and appreciating all that the universe is doing on our behalf. So shout out to BWCC. Make sure you follow them on Facebook and Instagram. Right there, you can do BLK Women's CC for all of that information. And y'all, again, like I said, subscribe to the channel. And you have been doing that. And again, I'm so appreciative. Okay, and listen, next week is actually 4th of July weekend. I'm gonna have a pre-recorded show, and I have a very, 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 very. I am so excited about who I have coming up next week. He's coming here from Alabama to tape live. We're going to tape the show live this Thursday, but you'll see it next week, next Tuesday. I have Frank Hardy coming to the show. Oh my God, I'm so excited. For those who do not know, I met Frank Hardy when I went to Selma last March, when I did the Selma to Montgomery walk. And on the last event, the last day of the event, I met Frank and we hit it off immediately. We've been like friends. He's been like a mentor, inspiration. He's very creative. He's going to be joining me. We're going to actually do a live taping this Thursday, and you'll be able to catch the episode next Tuesday. I will be in Virginia Beach, but the show will be live, so I will be watching it with you guys, and we can comment and stuff like that. We can engage in the chat. But yeah, I'm so excited. So make sure you check that out. The Eye of the Beholder. We're going to be talking about art and vision and all that stuff. So y'all know how we do. So make sure you check that out. I'm so excited. Make sure Frank Hardy coming all the way from Alabama to be on the show. That is, I'm telling you, what I'm talking about, the support and the love, it's like, it's real, and the appreciation is genuine, and I just could not thank everybody enough for watching the show. I might get emotional, but I'm a very gracious person, and I thank you all every single morning in my gratitude journal. So I just want you guys to know that I do think about you guys. You guys are kind of part of my family now. I hope that you are learning a lot. Again, the notes, keep them. I hope that you are learning something that you can apply to your life. And as we continue to grow, that you'll be able to expand and contribute to the knowledge base that we're having. This introducing is not just me doing it, it's all of us bringing something new to the table. So that's why each of my guests, thank you, Foxxi Roxxi. Listen, you answering that question brought it all home. I know that everyone will be able to reflect on that question now, especially if you watch the show and then you're a guest, you'll be able to reflect on that question and give us an answer on how you do that and use that energy. So without further ado, I would love to just thank you all again for joining me. Now it's time to what? Say goodbye to all my family. Next week again, but it'll be a recorded show. I'll be joining you, watching it live at 7 o'clock. Have a great holiday weekend, and I will catch you guys next week. Any final words, Roxy?
Nope, just catch me on Pronoia Starseed podcast, y'all. I'll be over there around 8:30 instead of 8:45. I'll be on a little bit earlier. I'm always late, so whatever. Bye, y'all.
All right, so check it out. I'm going to get my tarot reading. I hope you get yours. And then, it'll be next week, Frank Hardy special show. It's going to be awesome sauce. I can't wait. Make sure you follow, like, and subscribe. And until next week, make sure that you are learning new things along the way. All right? Have a great day.